What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. Thanks for pressing play. Today we are going to talk about the C8 Corvette Z06 because it seems like there is a never-ending supply of information on this car, and some of it's pretty awesome. Let's get into it now. Alright guys, so we are going to talk about three different pieces of information in this video, all pertaining to the C8 Corvette. The very first piece is kind of relevant to the C8 Corvette Z06 as well. The other two pieces are specifically for the Z06. So we're going to start off with the most important piece of information because it's going to affect the rest of the information that's coming. And of course, that is going to be that the C8 Corvette assembly plant has been shut down yet again. So this is nothing new. We have dealt with this a couple different times, but the Corvette assembly plant has been shut down for at least the third time. And it's because of the same reason as the previous times. There is supply issues. So when I say supply issues, what I mean is basically COVID has kind of slowed everything down to a crawl, and the Corvette team cannot get the parts necessary to build the C8 Corvette. They can't build C8 Corvettes, so they have shut down the plant yet again. Like I said, this is now the third time for this. Now, this information comes to us from our friends over at the CorvetteBlogger.com. I've mentioned them a bunch in the past because they are a wealth of knowledge for anything Corvette related. But about halfway down through their article, they talk about the fact that the Bowling Green assembly plant has just announced a suspension of production for the week of February 1st due to supply chain issues. Due to the recent delays and this shutdown, the new anticipated completion date of your car is 12/12. If your previously scheduled tentative appointment does not fall at least 2 weeks beyond this date, we will need to reschedule. And of course, that came from the Corvette Museum because one of the actual owners of the car received this email when checking the status update of his 2021 Corvette. So yes, as of 2 days ago, the plant is shut down for at least a week, possibly longer. The Corvette blogger goes on to say something I mentioned earlier, and that is, this is the third shutdown related to supply issues following the reopening of the plant after the 2-month COVID shutdown back in May of 2020. The last plant shutdown due to supply chain issues happened back in November. However, that was just a 2-day shutdown following issues with suppliers in Mexico. The Corvette assembly plant is currently running 2 shifts to build the 2021 Corvette. Plant workers can complete approximately 92 to 94 Corvettes per shift, which totals out to 930 to 940 new Corvettes built over the 5-day work week. The only reason I'm mentioning any of this stuff, guys, is because I want to keep you all up to date on your C8 Corvette. If you have a 2021 on order, of course, this is going to push everything back a little bit. Hopefully nothing major because you guys all need to experience this car. But the big reason I'm mentioning this is because on to our next topic is talking about the C8 Corvette Z06 and the fact, again, I'm reading another piece of information suggesting this car is going to be delayed. Now, as you guys know, originally there was a lot of talk saying that this car was supposed to be a 2021 model year. That, of course, got pushed back with COVID and the union strike and all that stuff. So now we were expecting it in 2022. However, recently I put out a video talking about the fact that this might be pushed back to even 2023. I have now come across even more information saying, yeah, it's going to be a 2023. Now, this isn't necessarily a gigantic issue because it was very likely that this car was going to be a late 2022 model anyway, with us possibly seeing it late summer or early fall of 2022. Now I'm thinking it's going to be closer to very early spring of 2023. So we're not talking about an actual year of delay. We're talking about a couple months, but it is still going to push it to a 2023 model year. Before everybody goes crazy in the comment section, I want to just reiterate, this is just information I am reading online. I'm gathering it and I'm putting it in a video for you guys to read and make your own conclusions. Nothing of this has been confirmed from Chevrolet, and in fact, Chevrolet has not even confirmed that a Z06 exists, or will exist for that matter. Now, with that said, I'm pretty confident that this information is probably going to be legit, but of course, you want to take all of these rumors with a grain of salt. Now, the other piece of information I was reading about the Z06 coming later, of course, comes from our friends over at the MidEngineCorvetteForum.com. There is a lot of information for Corvettes on this website as well. Between the mid-enginecorvetteforum.com and Corvette Blogger, you are really going to stay up to date with anything Corvette related. But this particular forum post starts off by saying that the C8 Corvette Z06 is coming much later than we wished, but it's not due to development nor engineering issues. So again, this is kind of factoring into what we were talking about earlier in this video. It kind of sounds like COVID is slowing these things down. So it could be a build or part issue. Not so much that the car hasn't been developed or is having any kind of engineering issues. That is great to hear because that sounds like Chevy's kind of got this thing figured out, but there is a problem getting the parts to build this thing. Regardless of how you cut it, the car is likely to come a little bit later than we had hoped. Now, to get into the meat and potatoes of this actual thread, I'm going to kind of take it from a large overview of the lengthy discussion because I don't want to get really in depth with this, but I will, however, link all of the information in the description down below if you guys want to head over to the mid-enginecorvetteforum.com and read this stuff for yourself. But the author of this particular thread basically puts it out to 3 different points. These are the 3 reasons why the C8 Corvette Z06 is going to be delayed. Number 1. The strike prevented the Z06 vehicle integration team from working on the car for 2 full months during the fall of 2019. Number 2, COVID delayed the vehicle integration team from working an additional 2.5 more months from February 16th through May 25th of last year. And number 3, COVID delayed the testing and development for 6 weeks. So basically what we're looking at here is COVID affecting the delivery date of the Z06, which is pretty much what we all kind of expected. The car was originally supposed to be a 2021, or at least the rumors suggested that it could have always actually been a 2022, which is now getting pushed back a couple months into a 2023 model. That is what kind of makes more sense to me. I do believe that the Z06 was probably always supposed to be a 2022. And the original leaks saying a 2021 were never actually legitimate. So if you think about this car having always been a 2022 release date, and the fact that COVID has pushed this car back about 4 to 6 months, just based on the strike and COVID-related situations, now it's a lot more believable that it's going to be pushed from a 2022 to an early 2023, because the difference between the two is really only going to be a couple months. Even though there is a different model year on that car, it's really only a couple months difference. But anyway, guys, there is a lot to read about this on this particular thread. So like I said, check the description down below and go check out this thread yourself. See if you believe that this is going to be the case. And finally, guys, the reason all of you clicked on this video is to talk about the C8 Z06 being called a race car by an actual race car driver. So again, our friends over at the Corvette Blogger and the mid-enginecorvetteforum.com both posted on this. It is actually a video with Matt Farah from the Smoking Tire sitting down with Alexander Rossi, who is an IndyCar driver, and they're talking about the C8R. Now, you guys know the C8R is fantastic. It sounds awesome. It looks great. But he's talking specifically about the fact that it is a flat plane crank engine and how it sounds absolutely insane when you're setting up shop next to it. But he takes it a step further and he says that one of his friends who actually drives the C8R said that the C8 Corvette Z06 is legitimately a race car without the stickers. So if you think about the race cars, the C8R, it has the sponsorship stickers all over it. You got some Mobil 1 stickers here and there. That is what he's saying. So basically the C8 Z06 is that same car without the stickers. Now, this is something we've talked about on the channel a couple different times. Whenever I first caught a glimpse of the C8R, I was blown away. The thing looks absolutely fantastic, but the biggest reason I was so blown away with it was because I knew that is what the C8 Z06 is going to look like. And that is a gorgeous, gorgeous thing. Now, we get confirmation of that from an actual IndyCar driver. So if this car is surprising somebody who actually races for a living, that is fantastic for the rest of us. Now, just like with everything else, guys, I will link that in the description down below as well. I watch a lot of the Smoking Tire and a lot of Matt Farah on YouTube, so anytime his name comes up with this kind of stuff, I love watching it. And I know you guys will too. So check out the description down below so you can hear all of this entire interview for yourself. Spoiler alert, it is kind of long and they don't talk about the C8R or the C8 Z06 very long. It is a quick mention, but that's ultimately what they're talking about. Like I said, the fact that an actual race car driver is calling the C8 Z06 a race car spells good things for all of us. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So please let me know down below, what do you guys think about the delay of the C8 Z06? Like I said, it is very likely to happen, but nothing is set in stone, so it's not guaranteed at this point. But there are a lot of factors pointing to the fact that it is going to be delayed, mostly because of the fact that the parts can't be received for actual production of the car. And of course, we can thank COVID for affecting all of this stuff, but it is even affecting the 2021 C8 Corvette base models. For all you guys out there waiting, you can blame COVID for that as well. I really believe that if the car actually ends up being delayed and pushed back into 2023, it really is only going to be a couple months setback anyway. But let me know what you guys think down below. How does the delay affect you? Are you upset about it? Are you still waiting for a 2021 of your own? Let me know down below. Now, as far as the Alexander Rossi thing, talking about the C8 Z06 being a legitimate race car, I think that's absolutely fantastic, but let me know your thoughts down below as well. If you guys liked what you saw here, please give me a big thumbs up. I love to make this kind of content for you guys. Let me know if you're liking it as well so I can continue to research these items and put this information out for you to see. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. I'm going to have loads of C8 Corvette content coming you are not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.